having worked with a lot of families and sort of gone through it myself, help them deal with the resentment and the anger and the frustration about living with this thing, and teaching them, at the most part, about the serenity prayer. Is God grant me the serenity to accept the things I cannot change, the courage to change the things I can, and the wisdom to know the difference. Sort of where to put your eggs and energy in terms of fighting the good fight, and where to let go, and sort of helping them deal with and understanding that living with diabetes, and particularly being the parent of a kid with diabetes, is about acceptance and letting go almost 24 hours a day. I think it's important to be able to say I hate it, or I don't like it, or this kind of thing. And I teach the kids how to have diabetes depression days. And I tell them that it's okay to have meltdowns every so often. So I tell them to take their blood sugar meters and crush them with hammers and drive over them with cars, just to get those feelings up and out. Because the more the feelings are stuck in there, the less they'll be able to attend to having their life. And the whole thing is to make the kids have their life and integrate diabetes into it. And then having a diabetes depression day where everybody has a pity party for you, feel sorry, have it for yourself, and you got ice cream, and you take a little extra insulin, you cover yourself, and that kind of stuff. So it's doing it and taking this stupid, serious thing and turning it upside down and making it a little silly, and giving the kids and the parents permission to do that.
Everybody's going to have not good days, but you know what? That's true in the not diabetes area of our lives too. We all sometimes at the end of our day go, this was not my most marvelous day. But the next day you have an opportunity to make different decisions. So to beat yourself up and to feel guilty about whatever it is that happened that day is exhausting. But my question then would be, is it getting you somewhere?
Hardest thing for people, particularly adults with diabetes, if you're intelligent and sensitive, and even if you're not intelligent, but if you're sensitive, is like you see a number that's not so good, and then you say, oh, I should have done better. Chill. I say, for me it's hard, but I got to work at it. It's sort of like a spiritual growth opportunity of not beating myself up. Out of all the people that could be difficult for me and judgmental, I think I am the worst. And I would recommend that people get a handle on that and not beat themselves up. You'll have a lot more energy. And not be frustrated that this doesn't come intuitively, that it's something that we have to work on.
To look at every single number and attach an emotional reaction to that. I've done a good job, I've done a bad job, I'm a good diabetic, I'm a bad diabetic, I made great decisions, I screwed up. That might be true, I don't know, a tiny little portion of the time, but most of the time all those numbers are reflecting is what's going on biologically and asking you to do something about it. So it's about
Well, I think if we want to talk about making suggestions that could really be of help to folks, we have to start with the understanding that lots of times, inadvertently, all of us, whether we're parents, whether we're grandparents, loved ones, spouses, partners, we all sometimes try and do things that aren't so helpful. This is a hard one to sell to parents because often they're so aggravated and frightened. But one of the things from a behavioral perspective that we know can be helpful is this idea of trying to catch your kid doing something right. Because we're so focused on, what went wrong? But we find that it's a very powerful incentivization, sorry to word, but incentivizing program for kids. If you can start to, on the rare occasion when little Johnny or Susie actually, without anybody asking, decides they're going to go check their blood sugars, or wonders about how many carbs they have in a meal, or takes their insulin appropriately on their own, even though it seems mundane, to go out of your way in a sincere way and saying, I just love you, I think you're great, it's so wonderful, you're able to do such a great job, I'm just so proud of you. I think the most important thing for partners is to stop automatic mind reading. That the typical way grown-ups try to help each other is by taking their best guess of how they should be helpful and then offering it. And it is so much more useful to ask. To say, I care about you, I love you, I know you're having a tough time, or I'm thinking it must be hard, a little bit I've been able to see from living with you with diabetes. And I just want you to know I'd love to be helpful. Is there any way in particular I could be helpful other than leaving you alone, which is I know the first thing you're going to tell me. but how can I be helpful? I mean, we know there's little things. Is it helpful if I make sure there's diet soda in the refrigerator? Is it helpful if I do X? I would like to be helpful. What could I do? Simply making it a conversation is probably the first and most important step.
So I think the first thing is to get everybody on the same knowledge base, even if it's the basics, like literally the basics of diabetes today. I think that's first. And then to say, one of the things that I need you to understand is there are days when I'm going to do everything right. Literally, I could have the entire diabetes team living in my house and micromanaging my blood sugars, and I'm still going to have numbers under 80. And I'm still going to have numbers over 200. So, to be able to say, so sometimes it's really, really frustrating when I know I'm doing everything I'm supposed to do, and still the numbers don't make sense. So I need you to understand that and give me some support when I'm feeling frustrated, instead of saying, what did you do wrong? And why did you eat that?